Grab a snack, grab a drink, get cozy. This story is absolutely insane. This happened a little over a year and a half ago. This guy comes into my place of work. For privacy reasons, I am not going to share where I was working or why he was there. But he was around my age, very cute, and there's definitely a flirty vibe going on. Now, I am a professional, so I'm not going to make a move at my place of work, but there was definitely a vibe going on there. So he leaves, and of course I'm like, that's probably the last time I'll ever see that man again. I'll miss him. Then the next day, I get a follow request on Instagram from him. This is the ideal scenario. This means that this man had to go home, Google my place of work, figure out my name, my first name, my last name, find my socials. I know it's not that hard in today's day and age, but if he wanted to, he would. And he wanted to, and he did. He sends me a message on Instagram and we start DMing back and forth. This is just the best case scenario. So after texting for a couple days, he sets up a date and we go on our date and it's really fun. He is in school to be a pilot, really seems to have his life together, which is not something I typically find in men. Everything was just easy with him. The conversation, I wasn't constantly thinking like, okay, when is this gonna end? How do I leave? It just all felt really natural. So we go on 2 or 3 more dates after that. And not to make you mad, but I kind of decide I want to end things with this guy. Even though he checks a lot of my boxes, he's not funny. And I don't know about y'all, but humor is such a big thing for me. Making sure we have the same banter, he gets my jokes, and he also can make me laugh, and that just wasn't happening. I sent him a text and I'm like, hey, I've really enjoyed getting to know you. This has been a great time, but I just don't think I see this working out long term. And he responds and is very, very nice in his response, saying, I've also really enjoyed getting to know you. Please let me know if you ever need anything. If you ever change your mind, the door's always open. I'm like, okay, that's really nice. And I tell him, you know what, like, I'm totally fine if you just want to be friends. And he's like, yeah, actually, I'm totally fine with that as well. So we continue to text, we talk on the phone after work sometimes, and just kind of start building a good friendship. So after some more consideration, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I just need to give this guy a chance. Like, maybe we can overlook the humor because he checks all these other boxes, and I normally go for very toxic men, and he doesn't seem very toxic. I send him a text, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? He tells me that he has a wedding on Saturday, but he's free Sunday. So I'm like, okay, what if we go grab some day drinks and kind of hang out? He is totally down. We keep texting the entire week. He goes to the wedding on Saturday and we're texting the entire day that he's at this wedding. He's telling me he's drinking, he's having a lot of fun. And the last text I get from him was at like 1 a.m. and it was very clear that he was drunk. And the next day, I didn't hear from him, which was very weird considering we've been communicating very consistently. So the next day at around 9 p.m., I texted him and said, are you alive? Just meaning like you had a long night, you're probably very hungover, like how are you feeling? I don't hear anything. The next morning when I still hadn't heard anything, I texted him being like, listen, if you're gonna ghost me, just at least let me know that you didn't die in a car wreck last night. Let me know you're alive and well, then we never have to speak again. I still don't hear from him. So I block his number. The next day, I get an Instagram DM from his Instagram account being like, hey, we've been getting texts on, let's call him Joe. We've been getting some texts from you on Joe's phone, and we just wanted to let you know that he got in a horrible car accident Saturday night after the wedding and is on life support. I start freaking out because literally the last text I sent to him was like, please let me know you didn't die in a car wreck. I respond to the message and I'm like, I am so sorry. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. Like, can I bring up flowers to the hospital? And they're like, no, out of respect for Joe, we're not allowing any visitors. I'm like, totally understand. So I unblock his number and continue getting updates on how he's doing. The weird thing was his text sounded a lot like him. I was trying not to read into it too much. Then I told my friends and my friend was like, let's do a background check because if he got in a drunk car accident Saturday night, that will show up on his record. So she does a background check on him and there is no record of a car accident or anything of the sorts. Very strange, but what am I gonna do? Text him and be like, I know you're lying. Through the background check, we figured out some of his family members' names. I look up some of his family members on social media and there is no sign of this man being on the hospital, being on life support. Please pray for our family, a GoFundMe, just, you know, anything like that. I get a text update telling me Joe is doing great. He got taken off life support today. They're gonna let us go home tomorrow. And I just respond being like, that's so amazing. Thank you for the update. Mother's Day rolls around. Like, okay. If this is true, there's no way that mom is not going to make a post on Mother's Day saying, my baby boy is coming home, the best Mother's Day ever. Thank you for all the prayers, just something. So I go to his mom's Facebook and she has posted a family photo. You know who's in that family photo? Joe. Smiling ear to ear, no injuries anywhere to be seen on this man. And it gets better. You know who's standing next to him? His girlfriend. So of course, I click on the girlfriend's name, stalk her Facebook, her Instagram, all the things. She has been dating Joe for the past 4 years. They have been in a relationship for 4 years. Sorry, I just had to say that twice. I, of course, immediately confront Joe. I text him and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Blocks me on everything, and I never hear from him again. Absolutely insane. First of all, they've been together for 4 years and there is no sign of her anywhere on his social media. Second of all, if you're gonna cheat on your girlfriend, just ghost me. Like, I didn't need this entire fake story about you almost dying.
My boyfriend saw my conversation with ChatGPT and he became a totally different person after then. Story time. So now we don't have to check if you're cheating on your phone anymore. We just have to go to your ChatGPT and search. My boyfriend was my first love, even though I was not his first girlfriend. And we've been dating for about 4 years now. He has always told me that I'm the first woman he has ever taken seriously, even though I'm not the first woman he ever dated. At the beginning of our relationship, he had nothing. But I'm from a very comfortable home, so my parents made sure I never lacked anything. So I never had any reason to ask my boyfriend for any financial support whatsoever. At the same time, I never made him feel less of himself because of that. I genuinely loved him, and 2 years into the relationship, things changed for him. He started making money, things started getting better. With the little he was making, he was trying his best for me. I prayed for him, I was celebrating his small wins, I was literally rooting for him. And he was doing the same thing for me at first. Things started to change, and I did not notice these changes early enough because I thought he was just going through something and it was temporary. Around last year, I was having some issues with my friend and I was telling my boyfriend about it, hoping that he was going to support me. But he supported my friend and this really got me hurt. That night, I vented my anger onto ChatGPT. I did not only tell ChatGPT about my friend and the fight I had with my friend, I also told ChatGPT about my boyfriend, how he took her side and the things he had been doing. So one particular night, I was sleeping beside my boyfriend and he took my phone and he went through my phone. He read all the things that I had said about him on ChatGPT. Please, how do you go through someone's ChatGPT? That's too personal. Anyway, the things that I told ChatGPT about my boyfriend were things that I could not confront my boyfriend about because he was always getting super defensive. So I had to confide in ChatGPT. He woke me up in the middle of the night, started talking about it, and I had to apologize to him. I told him I was sorry and that I only used ChatGPT because I could not air my opinions to him because I know that he does not like difficult conversation. He said he had forgiven me, right? And then we continued. Then earlier this year, I noticed that my boyfriend had been cheating on me with several hookup girls. That's why when I tell you, do not trust the loyalty of a broke man. If a broke man is professing love to you, telling you, I love you, to return, you are the apple of my eyes, whatever bullshit a broke man is telling you, do not believe it. I was completely shattered and I thought I could work with it. So I was starting to block the girls on his phone, but the more girls I blocked, the more girls I saw. So one particular night, I decided to confront him and then he apologized, but the next morning I left his place. He came back to my school the next day, he was apologizing to me and then he promised me he was going to seek therapy. So you mean you're cheating, Aisha? He told me that it was some sort of psychological trauma and I believed him. I mean, I could not understand how someone who claimed to love me would cheat on me with 10 different girls, even more than within 6 months. After that moment, things did not remain the same. He started going through my own phone trying to find something, but he never found anything. Until one particular day, he went through my ChatGPT again, and then he saw that I was complaining to ChatGPT about him again. He told ChatGPT that my boyfriend does not want a court wedding, he doesn't trust anyone, he doesn't want joint accounts, and he always says that he's the man of the family and his decision is always final. I cannot give my opinion. That's the same man you are seeing a future with. Are you normal? I also told ChatGPT that my boyfriend does not like to spend anything on me, that at this point in time, if my boyfriend gives me 1 million naira, he's not going to feel it. But this man has not supported my business in 3 years and I'm not being entitled because we've been together for as long as possible and he has not offered any support to me whatsoever. I mean, anything tangible. He took a screenshot of everything he saw on ChatGPT, sent it to me, I apologized, but things never remained the same after this time. I mean, things started getting worse. He started saying things like he was above me. Oh, I cannot beg a woman. I am too good looking for that. I have money. I'm a fine boy. Who are you? That was the same man that I started with when he was broke. I watched him grow from nothing to something. I was there with him when he had nothing, and I supported him fully. Since that time, if I call my boyfriend, he would not pick his calls, he would not reply his text messages. His friends too would not tell me his whereabouts. A few days later, something good happened to me. I called him to tell him about it, and he congratulated me. We spoke for a few hours, and that was it. I used the opportunity to confront him about how he has been acting up, and then my boyfriend sent me a long-ass breakup message. According to him, it was ChatGPT that showed him that I cannot forgive or forget whatever he has done to me, and I don't trust him. This really got me pissed, and this guy opened his mouth to tell me that I stayed with him after finding out he cheated on me because I was trying to get back the money I spent on him for his birthday. That's why they say men hate you when you keep forgiving them for cheating. That thing he said about me waiting to get the money back really cut me deep because I got him all the gifts I got for him out of love. I tried reaching out to him after a week hoping that we could sort things out, but he told me no to my face. My mom noticed that something was wrong with the both of us, and she reached out to his mom, and his mom called me telling me that I should keep trying to call him, and she was going to try to talk to him, but she never spoke to him. A few days to my convocation, I decided to go to his house to pay him a visit. I was there under the sun for hours, but he never came out. He did not open the door for me while he was inside the house. Are you stupid? What is wrong with you? At the mention of man like this, you people just lose your brain, lose your senses. The story is even starting to piss me off. Will treat you like trash, but it's that same man you want to beg. Somebody is cheating. Somebody is manipulating you, but it's still that same man you want to be with. Are you normal? That's why I will tell you once again, do not stay with any man through thick and thin if you're expecting anything in return, because he can dump your ass. You're going to stay with a man through thick and thin. Stay with him for the love of God, not because you're expecting him to come and give you anything after it all. Because this gender, they be forgetting a lot of things. They be forgetting. They are not as loyal as you think they are. While you're supporting a man, support yourself. Make sure you're growing and leave a man's future alone for him to handle and sort and figure it out. Are you getting humiliated over a man? Please, to share your stories with me, send an email to me at talktoperona@gmail.com, and this girl needs to be flogged.
Story time about my ex-boyfriend. Okay, so I met this guy in March at Drama. Okay, get out the club looking for love. If you met that boy at Drama, my girl, you chopped it screwed. We started dating end of July. Those first 2 weeks that we were dating, wow, bliss, amazing. I felt like, wow, this is what I want. This is what I want. Like, hello. We need to give my ex-boyfriend a name. We'll call him Julio. Immediately after those 2 weeks were over, the beginning of the end. So it was the first Thursday of August. Julio and his friends have a section at Drama for DB and Goko. So we're there at the section. And then Julio and I have a mutual friend. We'll call him Angel. I'm actually being really funny with these names. You guys just don't know. But Angel sees me with Julio at the club. And he's like, okay. And immediately he's like, Lee, I need to speak to you. I need to speak to you. Angel and I weren't close friends. Angel and I literally had hung out once before. And that was with a whole bunch of our friends the first Thursday in March that I met Julio. The whole night, Angel's like, I need to speak to you. And the whole night I'm like, speak. And he's like, no, when are you going to be on campus? There's no speaking to me on upper campus. Speak to me now. I was like, no. He's like, no, I'll even give you my number. And then you can text me when you're on campus, bro, but we need to speak. Then finally, towards the end of the night when Drama was closing, then I'm like, bro, just speak. Please just speak. And then he's like, I know Julio, okay? And I know his friends. And he is going to cheat on you if he hasn't already. And I'm like, what do you mean he's gonna cheat on me? Like, what? I'm discombobulated. I'm caught off guard again. This is my dream man. This is the man that's buying me sushi, taking me on dates, buying me flowers. I'm like, what do you mean? He's gonna cheat on me? So he's like, bro, you have to pinky promise me you're not gonna say anything to Julio. Hey, see, I pinky promise. But one thing about me, as soon as our fingers like disconnected, I beeline it to Julio. I'm like, hey, when nah. So there was 3 different reasons that Julio gave me to like disarm me from believing Angel. The first one was, Angel and I are not friends, okay? Julio had a brand with his friends of skull caps, and he said, no, Angel and I only know each other through that brand. Angel is not my friend. Angel is my other niggas' friends, but he's not my friend. So he wouldn't know what I'm doing. So if I am cheating on you, or if I would cheat on you, he wouldn't know that. That was reason number 1. Reason number 2 is Angel and myself, we were not friends, okay? We had mutual friends. We had hung out once before, as I said, but we were not friends here now. So Julio was like, why would Angel care about what happens to you if you guys are not friends? And then number 3 was, Julio had a friend, another friend, Willie. He is also very important to the story, and Willie is not his name, but again, I'm being very funny with these names, so you can kind of figure it out. But Willie, he had a girl, right, who was Angel's friend, very, very close friend. And my boyfriend, Julio, realized that Willie's girl was messing around with other men and then snitched on the girl to Willie. So then Julio is telling me, no, the only reason that Angel is telling you this is because that girl that Willie was seeing sent Angel to come to you and try ruin our relationship. Okay, are you following? I hope you're following, because it's a lot. Okay, so I'm like, maybe he's right, maybe he's right. So I forget about it. I'm like, okay, he's probably right, you know, fine. Sharp. That was the first red flag. The second red flag came, I think, that same week. That dream man that I had on this date, right? I can't remember what we're speaking about. Hi guys, it's Editing Lee here, trying to clear some things up. So basically, we're having a conversation at dinner about something that I needed him to check on his WhatsApp in order to confirm or in order to check. And when he searched the specific thing, you know, in the WhatsApp search bar, I saw a conversation that he was having with his friend Willie. I tapped on the message, just trying to understand the conversation because it was about me. So now we're like this, and he's next to me. I'm holding the phone with my one hand, he's holding it with the other. I grabbed the phone. I turned to the side because I saw a text at the top, and I'm like, what is this? I scroll up. When I scroll up, I see a picture of the UCT cheerleaders. Mind you, this nigga didn't even go to UCT, and Willie's girl was a UCT cheerleader as well. My boyfriend texted, zoomed in picture onto this one girl to his friend and was like, tell your girl that this girl might be my soulmate. I'm there at the restaurant. I'm like, I go home, and then at first I was quiet. I didn't say anything. Then around 2 a.m., my paragraphs. His explanation was very simple. It was, I didn't mean it. That girl is colored, and I don't like colored girls. And Willie knows that. That's what he has to say. That's what he has to say. Shapu. We actually need to name this girl, which is already a bad sign that I need to name her. But we'll call her Cece. We move on, right? He apologizes. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I need to be more intentional with my words. It genuinely was a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. Sharp. Fast forward then to September, mid-September, right? It's a Saturday. I wake up at like 8 in the morning on Saturday. I'm like, wow, I'm that girl. Because one thing about me, I can wake up at 12 p.m. I wake up and I see that Julio texted me and he's like, hey baby, so I removed you as a follower and I unfollowed you. Not because I'm mad at anything, because I think we might have gotten into a bit of a disagreement the day before, as per usual, but he's like, not because I'm mad at you or anything, but because niggas are doing bullshit. I also saw that Willie had requested to follow me on my main. So I'm like, maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe they just wanted to, like, I don't know, mess with him and like, oh, I'm gonna find your girl, I'm gonna steal girl, something like that. That's what I'm thinking, because you know men are like that. Boys are like that. I don't know what men are like. Boys are like that. Be 15-20 minutes later, I get 4 photos from an unknown number. I needed to go check. And then the message comes a little bit afterwards and it's like, good luck with this Rico. I said, am I the United States? Am I the federal government? What do you mean? It was basically 4 pictures of my man just overly going. I'm just going through the motions. Okay. And this number keeps calling me. This number keeps calling me. I'm like, who dared to call me while I'm so busy? I answer. He's like, please can I come over and explain? I'm like, okay, fine. He comes over. He brings Willie with him. I remember Willie was just like, very just not apologetic about what happened at all. I remember Julio kept being like, apologize, Willie, apologize. And Willie looked at me and he said, I'm sorry about the way I went about it. I don't even remember what the explanation was. Bullshit. I turned 19 in 4 weeks, okay? I'm young and I'm stupid. And I really liked him and I really wanted to believe him. So I take him back, okay? I take him back. Then the real beginning of this is when the end in. This is when we start reaching the end. at his brother's place, okay? I was sat on the couch and he's sitting next to me. I'm going through his phone, right? We're going through it together. I said, I'm gonna go. So we're on Instagram, going through his DMs. We see this girl. I'm like, who is this? I click on that thing and she texted me, it's like, oh, you're at FNL, just the UCT basketball. Again, this nigga doesn't even go to UCT. Click on the profile. I see a cheer highlight. Tell your girl that this girl might be my soulmate. This is Cece. I take it upon myself. I say, okay, unfollow, remove as follower. He said to me, let me block her. I'm like, no, there's no need for that. That's extra. Couple days later, again, we're back at his brother's place. We're sat on the couch yet again. And there we are, going through the Instagram once again. Top of the notifications, there's Cece again. I look at him. I'm like, now I'm irritated. I'm like, nope. I don't understand. He blocks her, right? Cool. We need to go back to early September. That day that I went to go see him at the Airbnb, right? I had a conversation with him about Rocking the Daisies. And I said I wanted to go to Rocking the Daisies. And I was asking him if we could go together. He says, no, I don't want to go to Rocking the Daisies. I said, okay then. I won't go to Rocking the Daisies then because you were my plan. Like, there's nothing else I can do now. So I'm like, it's fine, I will go to Rocking the Daisies. And I told him that I'm not going to Rocking the Daisies because you're not going. Now it's the day before Rocking the Daisies. It's a Thursday. Rocking the Daisies on Friday. He posts on his spam story a screenshot of an Airbnb in Yazamfontein. Which, if you know Yazamfontein, that's basically like an hour away from Winekloof Estate, where Rocking the Daisies is. Captioned, one thing about us, we're Rocking the Daisies. One thing about us, Siwenzani. I'm about to write a quiz. I call him. We're in the labs at this point. I'm calling him. We're going to Rocking the Daisies. My friends, last minute, they said they wanted to go, and then I bought a ticket. It was very last minute and very peer pressure. I cut the call. I write my quiz. Then I go meet my paragraphs. Again. Rocking the Daisies is also on his birthday weekend. His birthday's on Sunday. Sure, his birthday's on Sunday. I post him on my main. I'm posted on my main. Oh, in comes the next day, Monday, back to school. One of my friends texts me and she's like, hey mama, can I speak to you? And I meet up with my friend and she's like, we saw your boyfriend kiss another girl. I call him, I'm like, so you cheated on me at Rocking the Daisies? He's like, no. So why did two of my friends say that they saw you kiss another girl? They're like, he said, oh, how did they know it was me? It was dark. I'm like, hey. Then we break up that day. Break up, we're done. He came to come get his stuff, right? And he left this shirt. He was like, no, you can keep it. I'm like, please just take the shirt. He didn't want to take it. 2 days later, he went bowling with his friends. And the two girls had accused him of cheating on me. They were there because they know some of his friends, right? He, Julio, called my friend his crush and was like, you know, I want you, but I can't do anything about it because of Lee. And she was like, you better not do anything about it because what do you mean? When I heard about that, that's when I crashed out on Instagram. When I come back down to earth, and then again, we still are seeing each other. He's still coming to see me, you know. I'm sneaking him in. I'm trying to make sure none of my friends catch me. I'm not telling my spam any of this. Fast forward maybe about a week or so. Low-key, I'm also starting to get fed up with him as a person because I kept, you know, when you start to realize, like, no. Remember, he came to come see me on a Monday. The Tuesday, he asked if he could come see me. I said no. And he's like, why? I'm like, I just don't want to be with anyone right now. Then on the Wednesday, again, he asked, can he come see me? I said no. Then he called me and he's like, I'm about to leave my house. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't care, but cool. And he's like, why do you sound upset? I said, I'm not upset. He's like, okay, but you sound upset. And I was like, he's like, you didn't even hear what I said. If you heard what I said, you'd be upset. I'm like, what do you say? He's like, nah, I don't understand. Nah, I don't want to say nah. Quiet for a bit. And he goes, you know, you were right. And he had been saying that for like a couple of weeks. He'd been saying like, you were right. You were right. I was like, right about what? And he didn't want to tell me. He's like, no, I'll tell you. And so he says again, he's like, you're right. I was like, right about what? He's like, you're right about Cece. I had the weekend of my birthday, the weekend of Rocking the Daisies. And that day he came to come see me at the Airbnb. She was there first. And then he cut the call.
So I work at Claire's, and if you don't know, Claire's recently filed for bankruptcy, and so a lot of the stores closed. My location wasn't one that closed, but we went through liquidation sales just like everyone else did, so our shelves were pretty empty for a long period of time. In that period of time, I had a friend group come in, and the friend group itself was very nice. They were all like, keep in mind, they're all like my age. I'm 20, I'm guessing they were like 19 to like 23 max, okay? Like they were around my age. So they come in. Two of the friends are very polite. I'm like, hey, can I help you guys find anything? Like, what are we looking for today? They're like, oh, we're just looking. I was like, okay, cool. These are the sales. Let me know if you need anything. Like, very, like, cordial, nice conversation. As they're looking around, I'm not, like, eavesdropping, but their conversation is kind of loud because one of their friends is really loud, and that is the third friend. And at some point, she's like, ew, these shelves are so empty. Like, they're closing this store. They're totally closing this store. And she's, like, saying it very loud, and I'm, like, right next to her. So I just keep minding my business because I'm like, it's not my conversation. She's not asking me directly. Like, it's totally fine. And at some point, she taps me on the shoulder and is like, so what? You guys are closing? And I was like, oh, no, we're not closing. And, this is something I've done like a million times. Like, it's like 10 to 15 times a day where someone will be like, are you guys closing? And I'm like, no. And I explain the whole situation. I have my script. I'm like all set up. So I start to recite my script where I'm like, no, the company went through bankruptcy and like da-da-da. As I'm doing that, she interrupts me and she's like, stop, I'm sorry. They're lying to you. And I was like, sorry? She's like, if your shelves are this empty and they're telling you you're not closing, they're lying to you and you're gonna lose your job. Why are we saying this? So I was like, oh, okay, well, we are getting shipment in and it's going out on the shelves. We're doing it as fast as we get the shipment. Like, it's all like unfolding and we will be a fully stocked store soon. Like, don't even worry about it. And she was like, yeah, okay. Did your manager tell you that? And I was like, it's just what I'm seeing. I work here almost every day. Like, I'm seeing the shipment come in. I'm putting it out. I'm the one that set that wall up. All right. Like, it's looking good. We're doing good. This whole time she's being like very rude. And I'm just like keeping my composure and sort of being like gentle and polite and explaining it, and I'm not like losing my cool or anything, because for me it's like, okay, this is the first and only time someone's gonna ask this question. I answer it a lot, doesn't matter if they don't know. Like, obviously I'm gonna explain it to them, you know what I mean? So at some point she gives up and she just goes and hangs out with her friends who seem a little upset. Like, they're kind of like ignoring her and like not really dealing with that, because what was that? Like, that was just rude and weird of her to do. And then it gets worse because she's like, guys, should I get my ears pierced? I want to get my ears pierced so bad. And they're like, you want to get your ears pierced now? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my ears pierced. At this point it was like 6:40. We close at 7. An ear piercing usually takes like around 30 minutes. I can totally get it done in that time. But her friends are like commenting on it. They're like, they're gonna close soon. Like, are you sure you want to do it now? And she's like, yeah, I'll be quick. Like, I'll just do it myself. And she starts like laughing about doing the piercing herself. I think she's kidding. I'm not contributing to the conversation, not my conversation. She comes up to me and she's like, hey, so if I do the piercing myself, do I get 50% off? And she turns to her friends and starts laughing, like really loud. And they're just looking at her like, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, it's a liability issue. Like, I can't let you pierce your own ears. I'm totally willing to do the piercing for you, though, if you're interested. Do you want to look at the earrings we have? She was like, yeah, let's look at the earrings. So I was like, okay. So I bring her over. She's like, how much is that one? How much is that one? And I'm like telling her, and she's like, way too much. Yeah, if you guys are closing, you should be giving these away for free. Can I have a free piercing? And I was like, no, I can't do that because the location isn't closing. And even if it was, like, there might be a sale, but it would just be like, you would still have to pay for it. Out loud, loudly, with other customers in the store, she's like, you're not gonna pierce my ears for free? Who are you gonna tell? Your manager? You're gonna tell your manager that you did a piercing for free? No, you're not. Like, just do me a solid. Pierce my ears. I just want the piercing. I just don't want to pay that much. Like, can't you just knock off, like, 70% or something? What? Like, what world are we living in? I'm like, in shock. Her friends are in shock. They start telling her at this point, they're like, hey, can we just go? Like, do you want to buy anything? She's like, no, I just want to get the piercing. I'm just trying to get some money off of it. Like, it's not like it matters to him. He's just at work. It's just his job. Yeah, just my job. just my job that you are very openly talking about me losing. Like, what? So then finally at some point her friend goes up to the counter and she's like, hey, I'm just gonna get this. And I was like, okay, great. And I'm like, thank God I'm out of this conversation. So I go over to the counter, I check her friend out, and I'm like, all right guys, have a good rest of your night. And she's like walking out with them. She's like, so you're not gonna do the piercing? And she like slaps her friend, is like laughing, and I was like, oh my God. So after they left, I just like sat with it for a minute. And I was like, okay, that was a lot. Mind you, like, we just got our shelves set up. Like, I've been working the past few days just like on setting up the shelves. So this was not long ago. This was like a week ago or something. But it's like, how are you like at that grown age acting like that? The reason I asked you to keep their ages in mind is because like this is the behavior I'd expect from maybe like a 13, 14-year-old, not someone who is my age. Not to mention, like, this clearly isn't the way like her friends act, because they were fully respectful and very nice. It was just her who was being like so outwardly rude. It's just like embarrassing to me. It's like, why would you act like that?